Hi everyone. This is Heidi from HB Paper Crafts. Welcome to my regular Tuesday live. Today is Tuesday, July 14th, 2020. Just going to look for myself on my page here so I can connect to your comments. It always takes a minute. Well, goodness. Having some technical difficulties finding myself here. There's always that little bit of fear when you go live that you're in the wrong place or nobody can see you. All right, I think I found it. So I hope you're all well. You're all doing well. Hi, Danielle. Through all this craziness, I hope everybody is continuing to do well. As always, I want to thank you guys for coming out and tuning into my lives. I hope you enjoy them as much as I enjoy creating them for you. And if you're watching on the replay, I thank you as well. I apologize for missing you last week. I had a bit of a hectic week, so I was late at work and just did not get it together in time. This is really my downtime, my therapy, if you will, so I do apologize for having to cancel last week. My regular 9 to 5 was just a little bit more than I could handle, and then still get it together to be here live on Tuesday. So I have a couple of things to mention while we wait a couple of minutes for everyone to find me in their news feeds. First, the bonus days coupon. So July is the period for Stampin' Up! Where you can actually earn bonus days coupons, and what that means is for every $50 you spend in July, you earn a $5 bonus days coupon to spend between August 4th and August 31st. Which is worth mentioning, because if you have a $49 or $99 order, for instance, you can bump it up for that extra moolah to spend in August. So I don't want you leaving anything on the table if you have a July order. So that dovetails very nicely into our next topic. Whoop whoop. The August to December mini catalog, or holiday catalog as we lovingly may call it, launches on August 4th, a whole month earlier than usual. So usually we don't get this beauty until September, but I think Stampin' Up! Sort of listened to what people were saying. Hi, Carolyn. And they decided to offer it a month early. Stampin' Up! Customers wanted sooner access to all the holiday goodies to get their Christmas stuff going for the holidays. So they listened, and it's launching in August. So August 4th, if you don't have a catalog or you don't have a demonstrator and you would like me to get you one, just leave me a comment and I'll be sure to connect with you to make sure that you get one. There is a whole lot of love, a whole lot to love in this new catalog. So those bonus days coupons that you earn in July, you could spend them all on new items from this mini. Yeah, so I'll be putting together an online event for August, much like my catalog launch in June. So I'll be looking for those details. Going to have some fun stuff going on in August. I was going to try to put together a card class for July, but it has just not been able to happen. It's not in the cards, if you say. So you say. It's not in the cards for July for me. Things have been a little crazy. So I will look forward to a couple of online events in August, one being a catalog launch party we're going to have, and I'm going to work on a possibly another bingo for August as well. So be watching for those details. Where do you get one of these catalogs, Danielle? I'll make sure that you get one. I will get one to you. So, okay. So lastly, I want to share before we get started on these couple of cute projects that I have for you. I am going to try something new this week, and we're going to do what's called Mystery Stamping Challenge. So tune back in on Friday, and I will give you, I will post a video and tell you a little bit about mystery stamping and what clue number 1 is. So, for this video, I'll tell you that mystery stamping is just like, it's a super fun way to get your creative juices flowing. I'll give you clue number 1 on Friday. It'll be a list of products that you need. You'll need stamp, adhesive, paper. It'll give some dimensions for how to put your project together. And then we'll meet back Saturday morning at 10 a.m. here on my Facebook page, where I'll be live at 10 a.m. to put those projects together. So it'll be a live mystery stamping challenge, and it's a lot of fun. If you've never done one, you don't want to miss it. It's like I said, it's a really fun way to get your creative juices flowing, a new and different way. So if you haven't done it, make sure you come out and check it out. It'll be a lot of fun. So anyway, Friday, the first video and clue, how it's going to be done, and then Saturday at 10 a.m. here on this page will be the event to put it all together. Those who come Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and participate in the Mystery Stamping Challenge are going to be entered into a drawing, and I will send you a free packet of sequins. So there is that. So those are self-adhesive sequins, and you'll be entered into the drawing to win those for anyone who participates. The event is free. Just come, have fun, create. All right, on to creating. So when I first got the new catalog, I was drawn to this set immediately. I love it. It's so stinking cute. So I'm going to do a couple of projects tonight with this Zany Zebras set. And as I said, it's adorable. It has these cute little zebras, a party hat, some stars, of course the shadow that goes underneath him, and then some really cute phrases. You party animal, kick up your heels, happy birthday, wild about you, and it's time to celebrate. So this can be actually found on page 104 of the annual catalog here, and of course it gives you some super cute ideas on how to use them in the catalog. And then it can also be found on page 9 if you have the Beginner Brochure, because it's one of those stamp sets it's very versatile. It's simple stamping. You can stamp him in a variety of colors. You can color him, you can not color him. So there's all kinds of fun things that you can do with this little set. So I have a couple of projects using these guys tonight. These super cute guys. All right, so my first project is this really adorable happy birthday card using the little zebras. And I'm going to show you how to put this one together. All right, so here we have all the pieces and parts that we need. I have the card base, which measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Just a flat sheet here. This is going to be our actual card. The card measures 5 1/4 by 8. And then I'm going to get to these other little pieces in a minute. So we're going to start actually with this piece here that is 5 1/4 by 8. We're going to go ahead and fold it in half. And let me grab my bone folder here. And we're going to give it a good burnish. All right, so now I'm going to pull out my cutting board here, and I'm going to go ahead, and I have my crease here. I'm going to cut off on one side 1 1/4 inches. So I could have scored this differently, and I measured it all out and made sure to score it in one place, but I'm just, for the ease of the video, this is what I did. All right, so then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set this aside. So this is going to go onto here. Now I'm going to pull in this other piece of Whisper White that I have. Mine just happens to be a half sheet of scrap Whisper White. It's 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. But I'm going to do the gingham background with the buffalo check background stamp. And that's this guy here. Also one of my absolute favorites. I love it. And I'm going to use my Stamparatus for this. I like the Stamparatus a lot when you're doing background stamps because you have the ability to re-ink the stamp and stamp it several times. So if it didn't stamp clearly the first time, you can stamp it again. So I'm just going to stick my piece of white in here. And I could have gone with a smaller piece, but I just want to make sure that I am able to hold it down. So I'm going to put my magnets down just to hold my paper in place. That's really important if you should need to re-stamp your paper. And with the buffalo check, I find that you do need to stamp it a couple of times so that you get it good and clear. So I'm going to grab my Memento Black ink. Hi, Angela. And I'm going to ink it up. And when you're inking up with the Stamparatus, if you just put a stamp set underneath this door here, it makes life a lot easier for you. It supports this little door while you're inking up your stamp. So on my first card, I actually inked up the stamp 3 times, which, like I said, that's why the Stamparatus is so great. So I inked it up. I'm going to put it to the paper. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure I've pressed it down everywhere here. Sorry if I'm shaking the camera. I'm going to open it up, and you can see, and hopefully you can see in the video, that some of it is just not as black as I want it to be. I want it to be filled in those spots. So all you have to do is go ahead, and I'm going to ink it up again. And those magnets have held my paper right in place so that I don't have to worry about it moving around. Now that I say that, I've picked it up, so it could have shifted on me. And I think maybe on top of it all, I might need to re-ink this ink pad because it doesn't want to. There we go. All right, let's try this again. And now let's ink it again. Give it a good rub. And there we go. You can see that it's getting better, but I want to just make it just a little bit darker in those areas. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it one more time. So that it really looks like a printed background paper. All right, so here we go. And I'm going to hit it this one last time. There we go. So pretty. Love it. All right, so now I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to set that aside. So now we have our gingham background that we're going to use to build the background of our card. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to let that dry for a minute because, of course, we did hit it with quite a bit of ink. And I'm going to take out all these pieces and parts I have here. So I have 3 pieces. Whoops. Got rid of the wrong pile here. I have 3 pieces of Whisper White that measure 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. And I have 3 pieces of the Magenta Madness that measure 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. So those are the next pieces that we're going to use. And this is, again, it's black and white, a black and white background. So you could actually use it with a variety of colors. So you could make this a little boy card. You can make it for, you can make it for anybody. I mean, the zebras are so cute. Who would not smile at those zebras? All right, so let me take back out my Memento Black ink. And I can't believe this. Usually I have these all prepped and ready to go, but I do not. I'm slacking. The gingham, the buffalo check background, is that the one you're talking about, Angela, or is it the zebra? Because both are awesome. All right, let's see. All right, let me put all my little zebras on some blocks here. I didn't do that ahead of time. Boy, my blocks are dirty. Pardon them, hopefully. You can't see how dirty they are in the video. Ooh, I need to go wash them. All right, so I'm going to ink up my little guys here. And don't do that. And I'm just going to do their little heads in each of these squares. So there's one. There's two. They're so cute. I can't stand it. For these cards, for this particular card, Danielle, I found inspiration somewhere. You can find inspiration when card making on Pinterest or on all kinds of different sites. You can actually, once you buy a stamp set, so say you bought Zany Zebras, you could Google it. Google Stampin' Up! Zany Zebras, and you can get so many different ideas. This particular card I designed myself, but it's inspired by somebody else's card, which is kind of how things usually happen. All right, and actually while I have the black out, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp the happy birthday, which also is in this set. And I just use those Stitch So Sweetly dies. This is the smallest stitched rectangle, stitch scallop rectangle in that Stitch So Sweetly die set that I love so much. I'm going to ink up the happy birthday like that. Okay, so now we have all of our stamping pieces. I'm going to get rid of this ink because I will get something in it. And then I'm going to go to my cutting board again. And we're going to cut up this piece of buffalo check that I inked up. So I'm just going to start by giving myself a straight edge here. And I'm going to cut out all the edges like this. And then here. And this is still a little damp, so let's hope I don't get this all over the place. All right, so out of this piece of buffalo check, I'm going to cut myself a couple of pieces. So first I want it to be 5 inches in width. So I'm going to go to 5 inches here. And like so. And then I need 2 strips out of it. So I need 1 strip that is 1 inch. And then I need 1 strip that is 2.5 inches. So all out of the same piece of buffalo check that we just created. All right, so we'll set this aside. So now I got these 2 pieces out of that stamped image, and these are going to serve as the background of our card. So I got a piece that's 1 by 5 and a piece that's 2.5 by 5. Hi, Marie. And I'm going to take and glue this down. So this guy is going to get glued. To the top flap of the card that we created here. And then the 1 inch strip is going to get glued to the bottom, which will also show when you open your card. So it's just going to get glued right down here. Like so. So there we go. And then this guy is going to get glued right onto the card base. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this some adhesive here and glue it flat onto the back here. And then it's going to open like this. Super cute. All right, so back to our little zebra guys here. I am going to take and glue these to the pink or the Magenta Madness squares like this. Hi, Denise. Hi, everyone that I missed. Thank you for joining. We are playing with the little Zany Zebras set tonight. All right, and so our little happy birthday is going to get glued onto another piece of Magenta Madness. This little strip here is 1/2 inch by 2.5 inches. And that's just going to serve as the backdrop for our little happy birthday here. All right, so now just a matter of putting it all together. So I took these little guys and I put them out on the outside. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Whoop, I already had it flipped over. You silly. And then this one will go here. And then our last pieces, I wanted to use some dimensionals, so let me grab those. First off, our little happy birthday gets some dimensionals, and our little zebra guy is going to get some dimensionals as well. So our center zebra here, we'll put here, and then our happy birthday down here in the center, like so. All right, so then last but not least, I did take some of these enamel in colored dots, which are amazing. I love them. Let me see here. Where's my take your pick tool? So I'm going to take the putty end of my take your pick tool, and I'm going to pick up some of these Magenta Madness dots, just like this. And I may have to switch up my placement here a little bit because I didn't leave myself much room. So let's go up here, down here. Cute, cute. So there we go. There is project number 1, this fun little card here. Love it. Love these zebras. So cute. All right. So let me get all my stuff out of the way, and we will move on to our second project. How is everybody doing this evening? All right, our second little project using these cute guys is going to be a little gift box. I enjoy the 3D items. I like making them, so I couldn't go by a night without making some with you. So we are going to start by making the box. This guy is just called, it's actually inspired, again, it's off something that I saw on YouTube, and I honestly, I am not sure who did it. It was just a paper crafter that had made some boxes, pardon me. Excuse me. Goodness. Okay, so, and all it is just a 4 flap. So, you know, when you're moving or you're boxing things up or something, you have these 4 flaps and you kind of alter how they add. That's all this this closure is. It's just a matter of opening it up like so, and then you have this cute little box. Now I didn't glue down my inside one because of course you might want to put a sentiment or write something in. So I just stuck this in here so that when I do want to give it away, I can write on it, pop it back in there, and we're good to go. You could even glue it down in there, however you want to do it. But then to close it all up, all you're doing is, again, doing the old tucking it in thing, like so. And your box closes. So, cute. All right, so we're going to make this. So I decided I have all these, so I have tons of these cardboard backings. You buy the Designer Series, oh my goodness, words are hard. Designer Series paper, DSP, and you get these cardboard backings. Well, I couldn't part with them. I think, gosh, I need to use them for something. So I decided to use them for this project. Disclaimer though, some of our papers have the label in one corner. The one that you would need for this project is if you have one that has it in the center, because this is going to be the center of the inside. So you're never going to see this because we're going to cover it up with a piece of black paper that was on the inside. So you need a backing that has the logo in the middle, or you can just use a piece of 12 by 12. I decided I wanted to use up some of this that I had on hand, and it gives you a bit sturdier of a box. So I'm going to take out my scoreboard and use my DSP backing here. And we're going to score this at 2, at 4, at 8, and at 10. And then you're going to rotate it one time, and you're going to do it again. 2, 4, 8, and 10. And that is it. So then, when I'm making boxes, I always like to make myself a little template. So I have my little template here that tells me what I need to cut out of this little guy here. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start using my scissors. And when I'm doing bigger boxes like this, I like to use a longer handled pair of scissors. And I'm going to cut here. And I'm going to cut this one at an angle, like so. This is going to get cut off. And then I'm going to give myself a little bit of an angle here. It debulks your box and also makes it a lot easier when you go to put it together. So those are our cuts. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I didn't quite get that enough here. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to repeat on the other side here. I'm going to go straight. Thanks, Marie. Hope all is well with you. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut at an angle here and cut at an angle here. And last but not least, one more. swear everything feels, if you're in northern New Hampshire, you understand how humid it has been lately. And we've had the window fans going. My little craft space is in my bedroom. So my fan has been going. I think everything feels a little bit damp. So all my paper feels a little flimsy at the moment. All right, so there is my box. Let me get rid of these pieces here and get rid of my template. All right, so before we start to put the box together, I have this piece of black cardstock that we're just going to go ahead and we're going to adhere it down here. That's just going to make it easier. You don't have to deal with it once you get your box all put together. It'll be easier than trying to stuff it down inside the box and get it square. And here. All right, so let me take your pick tool. This thing is the bee's knees for this tear tape. You don't have to fight with it. Just use the spatula end. I say you don't have to fight with it, but then I fought with it. It always makes you out to be a liar when you're recording live. All right, so then I stick it down in the center of my little guy there. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead, take my bone folder out here, and I'm going to burnish all of my score marks. And I'm not going to put it together just yet. We have a couple more things that I'm going to go ahead and do before we put it together. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to pull in these pieces of, for my box I used Bermuda Bay. So I just have the little party hats on each of the side. You could emboss these. You could do all kinds of fun things to decorate the outside of your box. But I'm just going to use the little party hat that comes in the zebra set here. And I'm going to stamp all over with the Bermuda Bay. So I'm going to get myself out a scrap piece. Grab my Bermuda Bay. And we're going to stamp the little party hats all over. No rhyme or reason, just stamp them in there. And here. This is kind of just a simple way. You don't have paper that, or designer series paper that matches. You can always use a stamp set in the set that you're using and make your own sort of DSP that matches whatever your project is that you're doing. And just randomly stamping them all over the place here. Okay. So there we go. So there are our 4 little party hat pieces. And I'm going to take my box back here. And I'm actually going to take, let's get that out of here because you know Heidi's going to make a mess with that. All right, and let's flip this over. So we've adhered our black piece down. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to adhere these party pieces. So this is going to be the bottom of our box. So I'm going to go ahead and take each of the party hat pieces And I'm going to use tear tape again to glue these on. You could use liquid glue as well. Liquid glue would work. And I'm going to make sure that my party... stuck it down before. There's another reason why I love the liquid glue. It gives you that ability to slide things around that tear tape does not. Okay, so again, this is the bottom of your box. So you want to make sure your party hats are going up, if that makes sense. So your party hats aren't going to be upside down when you go to put your box together. Party hats or whatever image you happen to be using. And then this one will go here. And then we get a couple more here. This corner doesn't look like it wants to stay down, so let's see. Well, we'll do that after. So I was telling everyone earlier about mystery stamping that we're going to try out this week. If you come out Friday, I'm going to give you clue number 1, and I'm going to post a little video of how it works. So you'll gather all the supplies from clue number 1, and then Saturday morning at 10 a.m. I'm going to do a live here on my Facebook page to put all those supplies together. So it'll give you clue after clue, and everybody's card is always different from each other. However, they sort of look the same. So it's really fun. It's a fun way to just do some creative stamping without really thinking about it. So I hope that you come out and check it out Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Or look for clue number 1 on Friday, I should say. Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Everybody who participates is going to be entered into a drawing to win those adhesive back sequins that I showed you. Alright, so there's our box. So I have my party hats adhered on. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue it together. So I'm going to take these flaps here and these flaps here, and this time I am going to reach for my liquid glue. When I'm making a box, I prefer liquid glue, or making any sort of 3D item. I prefer this Tombow mono liquid glue because I feel it holds things together the best. I have not used our new Stampin' Seal Plus. Some are swearing that it's great. It's all preference. If you don't like the liquid glue, you may want to look for the Stampin' Seal Plus. Alright, so then I'm just going to pull my boxes up and glue those flaps down. Make sure my box is square. Hold it for a second. And I'm going to pull this next one up and hold it for a second. And this, the backing to the DSP here that I'm using for my actual box has a bit of a, it's not really a cardstocky finish. It's got kind of a sheen to it. I'm not going to call it glossy, but it's not like a matte finish either. So it does take a second with the liquid glue to get it to adhere. So you got to hold it for just a little bit longer than you typically would. Alright, so there's that. Alright, so I'm going to set him aside, let him dry a little bit, and I'm going to go on to my next pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use, I cut myself out some circles from the layered circles set. So I have a scallop out of Bermuda Bay, and then I have one out of Whisper White, just a coordinating so that you can see a little bit of that Bermuda Bay around the outside. I have 4 pieces of Designer Series paper. It actually comes out of the 6x6 Regals DSP set, and this one is just the little wood grain look. The polka dots would look really cute with this guy. There's some different patterns in the 6x6 paper, but I just love it. So I have 4 pieces of that, and those measure 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. The sides, I don't think I told you, but these pieces on the side actually measure 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. So you need 4 of those. The piece of black on the inside was 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. I have a piece of white DSP that I'm going to stamp for the inside, and this piece is 3.5 by 3.5. And I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to do some stamping now. So let me grab the Memento ink again. Let's cover this glue. Alright, so on the little circle, I'm going to do my little zebra. And really, they're all cute, so it doesn't matter which one you pick, but I'm going to do this guy because I think he's cute. And on my original, I had tried to do his little shadow, which is also in the set. However, I didn't like him on the circle, so I'm just going to do him without that little shadow this time. On the inside, I'm going to do the little kick up your heels guy. So cute. And then we are going to stamp the words, kick up your heels. And then again, this guy, this is just going to get, I didn't adhere it down. I just sort of stuck it in the box so that when I'm ready to use it, I can take it out, write on it, and then if you want to glue it in, you could glue it in then. It would make it a lot easier than trying to hand scratch inside that box. Alright, so then I need a piece of Whisper White, a scrap of Whisper White, and I'm going to do his little birthday hat, which I need to clean off because I just used it in the Bermuda Bay. So let me just give him a little clean up. I'm going over my usual half hour, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. Seems like I'm doing that more and more lately. Hopefully you enjoy them. And I'm going to stamp him. Okay, so I stamped the little hat, and I'm going to leave him for a second to let it dry. I'll glue this guy onto my scalloped circle in Bermuda Bay. Again, you could switch up these colors too. You want to make this for a girl, or I don't know, I love these colors. I think they're just fun colors. But you could do it in any color, because the zebras are black and white. Alright, so then he's all glued down. So while we have the Memento, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that happy birthday again. This piece of Whisper White that I have, I actually did it at 3/8 by 2 inches because I thought it looked better than the 1/2 inch. So 3/8 is pretty easy to find on your paper trimmer. And I didn't get that very centered on that. So let's give it one more try. It's hard when I'm trying not to get my head in the camera too. Alright, we're just going to have to let it happen because I did it again. So there we go. Alright, I'm going to put the black ink away here. And all I did to the end of these guys was I gave them just a little angle cut. So just a little cut like this. And like this. And then we'll just adhere them together. And I sort of just did it at a little angle like that. And then that's going to get glued on, and I'm going to do it with the liquid glue so it doesn't pop off. That got glued right on our little zebra here. And then I took a piece of our white baker's twine, which we no longer have, but any twine will do. It just happened to be what I had on hand, so you can use anything. You could use a little piece of ribbon, or you could just leave the bow off, either one. So I doubled it up, and I'm just going to tie it like I normally would if I had just one piece of string, but I have two. So there we go. I just made a little bow, and I'll cut this one apart here. And we'll give it a little trim. And I'll take a glue dot. When you're using the glue dots, it's easier if you just find the little glue dot on the, which it's hard to find on the video. There he is. And take your ribbon right to the glue dot. Pull it off and put it where you'd like on your project. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so now we're ready to put this piece all together. So again, it's just like when you're packing up, you're getting ready to move away, or whatever it is you're doing, you're just alternating. So you got one here, one here, one here, one here. This one's out, you're just tucking it in like this. Just like when you're moving. So that's easy. That's how you're going to put your box together. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the liquid glue on the back of my pieces of DSP, and I'm going to center those in these little squares that are left after you close your box. And if you're like me, you have to make sure the wood grain's all going the same way. Or you could just let it happen. And here's that. And last but not least, we have one more here. And there's that. Okay, so again, we'll set this aside and let it dry for a second. I'm going to go back to my little hat. So I just used the Bermuda Bay, and I colored in the little dots on the hat. And then I took the dark, what is this one? The dark So Saffron. And I just colored in the hat. It's just quick and easy to color in this little guy. It's really no coloring at all. And I fussy cut it. Yes, I know. But how cute. He needs a little hat. He needs a little party hat. So you just quickly go around. When you're fussy cutting, especially this little image, it's got a little pom-pom hat, but it doesn't have to be perfect. You leave a little white, let's say, cloud around it. Your eye is drawn to the image and not to the cutting, so it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, so there's his little party hat. Cute, so cute. And he is going to get glued on to our little zebra. Right here. Now it's a party. Cute. He's so cute. Alright, I'm going to take this guy back. And again, I'm going to take some dimensionals, which are somewhere. There we are. So I literally just had them in my hand. Okay, I'm going to take my dimensionals out here. And I'm just going to put a couple in just one corner. So of course you do not want to glue your little tag down. If you glue it down, you're not going to be able to open your box. So if you put just a couple of dimensionals on one corner where this guy's going to sit over, you'll still be able to open it. So there we go. So I'm going to put them here. Make sure to push them on good. Alright, so there we go. And then this one gets tucked in behind here and behind the tag. Cute, cute. Alright, last but not least, you'll see I blinged it up with some little party beads like I did the other one. And all those are is just some little white pearls. So I did the same thing. I used my Stampin' Blends, as you've seen me do before. You can use your Stampin' Blends on the rhinestones. You can use it on the pearls. You can use it on any ribbon that is just solid white. You can color with your Stampin' Blends. So these are just little white pearls, and I'm going to color them with the Bermuda Bay. And I use the dark Bermuda Bay to color mine. So there we go. Those are done. Do need to give them a second to dry, but they dry pretty quickly because it is alcohol ink. And I'm going to use my tweezers. Wow, I'm really going over. Sorry, guys. And here. And here. And then a couple more. Here. And here. I almost made 3 projects with these little guys because I just love them so much. Good thing I didn't eat them in here forever. So there we go. There are our cute little projects with those adorable Zany zebras. What do you think? I hope that you like them and that you recreate them. And thank you guys so much for coming out and hanging out with me and watching these videos. I enjoy making them with you. So again, yeah, come back Friday. I'm going to do that mystery stamping challenge this week. You can see what it's all about. It's a lot of fun. I've done a couple of them now, so I hope that you come back. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Happy stamping, everybody. Bye-bye.